What's going on, guys? All up here today with some more Crown Zenith content. Today we have Regigigas VSTAR. I was not very enthusiastic when I first built this deck, but after playing it, it's quickly become one of my favorite decks in format. And let's get into why. Regigigas is a 300 HP 2-prizer, and its attack for Giga Impact for 3 energies does 230 damage, but it cannot attack on the next turn. Its VSTAR power only works if your opponent has 1 prize left, but you can discard one of their Pokemon, one of their bench Pokemon. The second attack on the Regigigas V is also to note, it does for 3 energies 100, but 10 more for each damage counter it has on it, and it becomes confused. We are likely going to be tanking a hit considering we have 300 HP, so we can make good value of this by using Memory Capsule. We're playing some 1-prize attackers to get our opponent on odd prizes so we can utilize that V-Star power, and the one we mainly are going to use is Rowlet, and Rowlet is nice because it's a synergy with Bird Keeper and can set up knockouts that our Regigigas cannot reach normally, like on an Arceus or a Palkia, for example. We can put the 60 damage on it with Rowlet and then finish it off later with a Regigigas, which is quite nice. And also, to take it out, they get put on odd prizes to set up our V-Star power. I'm playing the Yveltal for a Lugia matchup. My idea behind it is we try to pull off a Cry of Destruction to, and pivotal points to get rid of either some Powerfuls or Auroras to make it so they can't use Yveltal or one-shot a Regigigas in any way. And they sort of have to respond to it and put themselves on odd prizes. And then we're just going to try to grind them out with 3 Regigigas after that. We have the Radiant Greninja Melony package, trying to accelerate energies quickly to our Regigigases. I'm playing the Roxanne to try to combine it with the V-Star power for maximum disruption. We have the Nets, which is VIPs, Quick Ball, Ultra Balls for the consistency. I'm playing Energy Loto over Buckets because I want to be able to find my double turbos. And I'm playing Mews because it's great to help us get into the game, find our VIPs and our switches, and also it's a great pivot for when I'm using Bird Keeper or Switch. I always can go back into it and fish out an item. We have Zigzagoon to fix math because Regigigas with a powerful only does 210 and most Vs are 220. We have the Crobat Lumineon, which I don't want to play. In an ideal world, you don't have to play, but unfortunately, we do not live in an ideal world. There's only going to be one battle in this video, but it's a pretty intense battle that I think showcases the deck and all of its versatility and strengths very well. This deck, it's very cool, and it has a lot of plays you can make, and it's just like you're trying. I know you can play it as a tank and heal deck and play Charon, but I think we just want to be a tempo deck and just try and be hitting 210 on turn 2 as fast as possible and as consistently as possible. So I don't think, I don't know, Regigigas has a lot of potential, I think. I'm pretty sure this is the most optimal build to play it, but there's definitely a lot of room for exploration. So I hope you guys enjoyed the battles. Please consider subscribing and liking this video, and check out my Crown Zenith playlist if you've missed any decks. I have already about a half dozen of them on there. Thank you guys for all the support. It's been tremendous, and enjoy the battles. Alright, on to our game here. We're going to call the coin. It's tails, so we'll be going second. Not great, but it's fine. Because of Melony, we can still put pressure on our opponent on the first turn with our, I think it's Angry Thwack is the attack on the Regigigas V, if they have a small thing in the active spot. Or we can also do Rowlet pressure still. It is Lost Box. So this should be a fairly even matchup, depending on what build it is. Rayquaza is probably worst case scenario. Also, if you're playing any sort of Zapdos, that could be kind of rough. So there's a Comfey, out of Comfey, Radiant Greninja. So they're off to a pretty good start. So conceal cards. Guru. So we're going to stack something on top to Flower Select out. So attach Retreat. So Grass and Water. Could be Giratina. Could be Amazing Ray. Could be something completely else entirely. You never really know with Lost Box. Quick Ball goes and a pass. So we're going to play our VIP pass and get Radiant Greninja and another Regigigas. Could be an argument made for Rowlet as well, but I think I want to get a Regigigas down here, stand it out. We will conceal cards. We do have Ultra Ball that can get us to Melony. We will get the Battle Pass, Ultra Ball out, VIP, and notifications, so we're going to block that. Ultra Ball out, Switch, and VIP Pass. Get ourselves Lumineon, plenty of Melonies in deck. So we will be able to pull off the Angry Thwack on the first turn of the game, which is good. We can get early early lead, which is always good. Our hand, though, after that is a bit subpar. We can evolve, though, and clear this confusion. So, not the end of the world. Quick Ball does mean we have Crobat. So, we can Radiant Greninja 2 for cards. So yeah, Comfey. With only 2 in the Lost Zone, I'm not super threatened by like an Amazing Ray or something. Or if they do have a Galarian Zapdos, that could be trouble. Definitely think there'll probably be more Galarian Zapdos running around with Forest Seal Stone, which could be trouble. With Sky Seal Stone, excuse me. Could be trouble. Playing Dunsparce doesn't really work that well because they just lost mine and get rid of it, and then they attack you. So we have to play like Rod, and that's just kind of scuff. Like I don't want to like I want my deck to be as consistent as possible. I don't want cards that situationally help me in kind of niche scenarios like that. Like I just wanted to be able to play the game and do what I want to do most of the time, and if that's not good enough, then that's okay. So there's the Rangaroo. We see the Amazing Ray, so it is Amazing Ray. That's probably worst case scenario for us. It is a bit of a chore, but they can reach Regigigas V-Star with 4 energies. Only 3 in the Lost Zone does mean they gonna make an Amazing Burst. Pretty unlikely, but I'm very afraid of that Zapdos. I think Sky Seal Stone is something to experiment with in Lost Box. Lost Box is already sort of an inconsistent deck, so putting more cards into it is never super ideal, but the upside of taking an extra prize is definitely worth exploring. So our opponent is getting pretty close to that Mirage Gate. They just need to find a Chorus and 1 more flower selecting. Lightning Energy gone, that's always good to see. Cramorant, so we're probably going to get spit into. Another Attach Retreat. I'll Raihan to the Ray. So we're likely going to get Rayquaza Punch next turn. So the thing is, it just requires our opponents a lot of resources to take out this Regigigas early on. So that is always good. One play I could make is attach to the Radiant Greninja for a Raihan play in the future. Another Gigas top deck is good. We'll evolve. I want to conceal cards. I want to get into the deck. Unfortunately, no energy to store the risk that we took, but we still have the Raihan, so we can get impact on our next turn. So we are going to get Amazing Bursted into for sure. I don't know what else they did attack us with, like maybe a Raikou for 3 prizes, which could be a bit troublesome. But honestly, 3 prizes isn't that great for my opponent, because they take 3 prizes on a Gigas, then they take 2 in the second one, and then they're at 5, which sets up my V-Star power, so they would probably lost mine in between that to get off that odd number. So let's see what they have cooking. They have Chorus and Fog Crystal, that's interesting. They will. So they just need a Mirage Gate and a Switch. They have enough stuff to use Mirage Gate. So take them a bit though. Maybe they don't have it. No, if this Regigigas does stay alive, we do need this concealed cards to be kind to us and give us a Switch or a Bird Keeper or something. We do have Crobat for additional dig. You never like dropping Crobat. Crobat is a card I never like putting it in my decks because having just liability 2 prizes, especially in a deck like Regigigas where I want my opponent to take out 300 HP Pokemon, I never want to play something like Crobat. And in my early list, I was playing Crobat, but I just get to bricky hands where like I can Mew for a ball card, but I've already spent my Lumineon, so I don't have any outs to keep building my hand. So I suppose you can play second Lumineon, because Awkward Turn is a viable attacker in this matchup. We do go down to an Amazing Burst. But I think Crobat's a necessary evil. Like, it never feels good to play in decks like this, but I think it's unfortunate that we do have to play it. So, go Training Court. I will Raihan. We're going to be going... I maybe could have Mewed first, try to hit a Lotto, but I think I'll just thin this first. And there's, of course, a Lotto. We can find a Switch to reset next turn, potentially, which is good, and we will just Giga Impact for the knockout. Find an Ultra Ball, which is good, can get us to another V-Star. Yeah, Awkward Turn is actually a surprisingly good attack in this matchup, because the majority of their attackers we can KO fairly easily. Aside from the Amazing Ray, like a Cramorant, it's just one Spit, or it's just one Zigzagoon. We can Awkward Turn into Comfey and Sableye, and then we can go into one prizers or we can go into Regigigas. So we can almost force them onto bad prizes if we pick up all of our Mews and cheap prizes like that. And we just put a Greninja in their face. It's sometimes difficult for Lost Box to gust, and we can almost force feed them that one prize. So unfortunately, we might have to Roxanne next turn. I don't know. Our hand's kind of lacking. We need to find a Melony if this Regigigas goes down, which, considering how large my opponent's hand is, it's definitely likely. Only one gate has been spent. So, Quick Balls are cram. There's the other amazing Ray, so tells me that they probably have most of the cards that they need. They just need, there's the Raihan, so they just need one additional colored energy. So a water or a psychic would do the trick. He's probably not playing the Raikou stuff if he's playing Greninja, just not this space for metal and waters and all of the extra stuff. But he does have space for Snorlax. One build I do want to try is like a Raikou based Lost Box while also splashing in Zamazenta. That might be something you see future on the channel. So you see an Oranguru, Primate Wisdom. Probably stacking an energy on top to pump back in with a Mirage Gate. There's a Ray, so he needs one more colored energy. So, and a switching card. That's what he needs to pull out. There's a capture energy, so that means he needs another Mirage Gate to knock us out. So maybe we'll live to fight another day. That'd be excellent. That'd be very good. There's a Sableye. He can't lost my that's a Mirage Gate, so we are going to be going down. Yeah, it's a water energy. So down goes Regigigas. Alright. Dang. We need a good concealed cards here. I guess I can conceal cards a couple times if I need to. If I want to. Spending Netso is kind of bad because I do want to pick up these one prizers later. I want to force him to go through a two prizer. So that's kind of rough. Yeah, I'm just going to take the L, quote unquote, and Roxanne. I'll quick ball in the Mew, Ultra Ball out, Mew Yveltal. Like, yeah, I could keep digging and hit a Melony, but also I want to disrupt my opponent's hand. And with the Ray in the active spot, not a whole lot that they can do, especially if I just keep this Mew in the active spot. They take me out, and then the active is my V-Star, so I think I just pass. I have the DT for the knockout in hand, and they still need to do stuff to be able to Lost Mine, so I don't necessarily mind. Like, they have an awkward Pokemon in the active spot, 3 cards to work with. You have a concealed card, so 4 cards to work with to get out of this brick. It's a rope. I'm going to go into the Radiant Greninja, keep a one prizer in their face. Probably do want to Lost Mine and put pressure on my single prizers, or on my multi-prizers, excuse me. Put pressure on my Lumineon, put pressure on my Regigigas. So there's a fighting energy. Always love to see energies go to the Lost Zone because they don't play. They have to play so many energies that they can't play thick counts of them. So there's a lightning and a fighting Lost Zone. More flower selectings. So I think that's enough that they can Lost Mine. Conversation's not very worthwhile for them at this point. So I'm gonna get Lost Mine. I doubt they take the bait and Lost Mine and KO the Mew. That just seems it just seems greedy. Like, you take that one prize, but if I pick up my Greninja and then like awkward turn, for example, then you have to get through this lone Regigigas. I think that Rod was a misplay because, and they didn't pick any amazing Rays. Like, if I can knock out or discard this amazing Rayquaza, I don't have to deal with it again this game. That's 2 rods. So I wonder why they did that. Because they're not using Spit. They're not gating. So definitely a questionable play from my opponent. Maybe he's just afraid of hand disruption. But you could just Guru and stack it on top. I don't think they use Primate Wisdom. So there's a Lost Mine. I bet it's probably going to be a 8 on Lumineon, 1 on Lumineon, maybe the rest on the in the other 4 on the Regigigas to set up the Rayquaza to finish it off if I were to bet. No, 8, 2, and 2. I'm going to put in the Greninja spit range. Okay, I'm going to be going for the awkward turn play this turn. This has to be my play. I have to clear this Lumineon. So Capsule's no good. We'll net the active and find and conceal cards once again. I'll just grab the Capsule. Save the Lotto for later, but the Capsule is then a card out of the deck. We will conceal cards once again. Looking for Melony. No Melony yet. So we're going to have to play on my hand for a Crobat. It's going to be kind of scuffed. So we'll put that there. DTE, bench Mew, retreat and tail. Ultra Ball makes his hand a little thinner so we get more cards up his back. Rowlet is not useful at this point. We see 3 Melonies and we have a 3-card draw. Doesn't matter if I net here. I'm getting 3 cards regardless because I'm not going to redrop this Mew. So I will just bat for 3. And we do find the Melony. So that's great. We can clear this Melony, or clear this Lumineon, and pick up pick up this Mew. So it's going to be tough for my opponent to find these last 2 prize cards. My goal is to make him have to go through another Regi after they have to take a 1 prizer. This is the game plan I was saying earlier. I can awkward turn back into 1 prizers, and he almost forced me to take knockouts there because he just can't. I bench bat, so that is just 2 lost mines away from winning. But does he have the? I think he's down both his save wise, so I think only 1 Sableye is down, so. But only 1 Sableye means, with 2 rods down, he only has 1 Sableye, so you'd have to, like, he'd have to Greninja and Sableye, which is a bit hard to pull off. So, could be awkward turning again. If he doesn't take a knockout, I'm definitely going to awkward turn again. And just put another single prizer in his face. I don't want to put the Regigigas in the active spot unless I'm taking the Rayquaza out of play. And even then, Zapdos is possible. And I am scared of a Zapdos at this point. So Chorus means no boss, which means he's not winning. Manaphy, and one cool play that I want to pull off someday is do the Regigigas VSTAR power and discard a Manaphy, and then Moonlight Shuriken 2 things on the bench to win. Which, as long as you have energy banked up on the Greninja, you can Raihan and pull it off. So it's not the most unrealistic play, but I feel like it'd be pretty legendary if you could pull it off. So they lost on an escape rope. Definitely taking my opponent a bit. It's a pretty complex board state here. So they rope. We'll go back into our Mew. Give him a single prizer. There goes Cramorant. So they will take the knockout. Seeing that they have no Pokemon recovery left, in all likelihood, their win condition is taking out a 2-prizer. Or they have to take 1 more knockout. So I'm going to make this as hard for them as possible. I'm going to Sky Guardian their Rayquaza. Conceal cards out the water. I can Scoop Up Net the Greninja. Pull Quick Ball out the Mew. Find Lumineon. Don't need to bench it. But I can Melony, attach energy to the Crobat. We can thin with both these Lottos. Pick up the Greninja, so we force our opponent to go through a 2-prizer without Amazing Ray. And we'll just grab the DTE. And we will use Giga Impact. And we have the Switch and the Bird Keeper in hand to switch and reset this Giga Impact. So our opponent has to find somebody to knock us out, which I don't know if he has at this point. It would mean a Zapdos. I think it's his only way of winning, which I feel like we would have seen by now. Or he's playing like 3rd Rod or Clara or something. Because even if he's Raikou, that only... Yeah, there's the Raikou. That's only 140 with the Lightning Rondo? Right? Oh, he doesn't have the nets to Goon spam us. What's Goon on? Being the active? I think his only hope for it is hitting into me with Raikou and just hoping I don't have a switch out, which obviously is not the case. So, Gate to the Raikou, Air Balloon retreats, and they will use Lightning Rondo, and we just can close out the game with the Giga Impact. Yeah, only 120. So, we just switch, we see that energy to retreat, and we take the knockout Giga Impact. That was a very intense game, but we got to show off the deck pretty well. Use an Angry Thwack, and that's it. Alright, so that is Regigigas VSTAR. As I said earlier, this is my new favorite deck in format. It's incredibly fun, it's fast, it has plenty of options, which I always love. I did go through a lot of variations with this list. I had done Sparson at one point, I had 4-3 Regigigas without the heavy ball, I had no Crobat. I was all things I tested. This was probably my most time into this video, into any other one, but it was a really fun one. I really like this deck. I think it has a lot of potential, a lot of avenues you can go down because of the colorless attack cost. I think just this simple version is probably the best way to go about it. There might be a better way into the Lugia matchup. I hate this one. I definitely need to test more. I'll be running this tomorrow, or well, today when this comes out, in the Sunny Games tournament tonight, Limitless. But yeah, that is Regigigas. It's a fun one. I really like this. So I will drop a link to the list in the description below if you want to try it yourself. Any questions, comments, concerns, drop them in the description below. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. Yeah, thank you guys for the support. I've said like a million times these last couple videos, but just like a week ago, this channel had no subs, and now we're all the way up to 35. It's awesome. You guys are just the absolute best. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun with Crown Zenith so far. We're bringing the daily content still every single day, double uploads on the weekends. I'm inspired. I am feeling good. Yeah, and this has been All Out Blitzel, and I'll see you guys next time.